Okay, we are live.
What's up, Shrimpy Boys chat? I'm eating watermelon.
We are living watermelon.
Hey, we're live.
Hey guys, we're alive.
We're live.
Are you?
Whoa, he's live. That's crazy.
Are you? Are you live?
No, no, I'm not alive.
He's dead.
I died a while ago.
Oh shit.
I
Shoot,
died a
how did
while
you
ago.
die? How did you
Oh
die?
shit.
Uh, too much awesomeness. I
That is,
overdosed.
you know, I can honestly see that. Like,
I
Oh,
overdosed.
dude. You're not live.
what do you mean?
Not for me. Oh, now you're live.
I just lost a subscriber, guys.
Yeah, that was me, dude. That's true.
Rip. At everyone.
Wow, I pinged my
Live
server before you
with
pinged your
the
server.
Yeah, what the
first
hell, babe?
episode of
Pissode.
the hour.
Yum, 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 yum. Watermelon. The ShrimPon cast. Episode 1. NinjaMagic. That's me.
That is you.
Hey, I'm here too. I'm that one. The other one.
He's the cat guy.
I'm the cat guy with the cat. I'm the cat who owns
The
the
cat with the gat.
I own you.
All right,
Cats. Cats. They are the cats.
let's just do an audio check.
He's the giant. He's the giant cat that makes all of the rules.
Oh no, not cats, dude.
That makes all the shrimp podcast.
Just start yapping.
Num. I am yapping.
Hey everyone,
I
Words.
also
Hello.
want to
welcome to the
talk
Words
at
are
the same
podcast.
happening.
time to
The
Hello.
make sure
name of
that
the
the
Hello.
audio is
podcast is
balanced.
ShrimPon Cats.
Yum 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 yum.
Meow, 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 meow,
Let's
meow.
just start
Also, I hope that I hope that the internet is okay here. Usually the internet here is okay, but
Okay.
sometimes it just cuts out. So I hope I'm okay.
All right, it sounds good. We are
Yay.
officially.
Woo!
Um,
So now we can finally ask,
yeah.
how are you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Um, Today was big day at the camp that I'm working at, and looking forward to the rest of the summer. And then after that, I'll be coming back home and doing streaming again, which will be fun.
So what made it a big day? What made it a big day for you?
So the camp I'm working at is a sleepaway camp, and it's divided into two halves. And today was the end of first half, so like all the kids that were only here for first half left today, and tomorrow we're going to be getting a bunch of new kids, so it should be fun.
Oh,
Brand new
cool.
batch.
Brand new batch.
Currently promoting this
Also,
podcast on my Instagram.
yo.
I am.
Also, I am currently eating watermelon, so if it takes me a second to respond for a little bit, that's why.
Yeah, can you guys like hear me well? Is it fine?
I can hear you fine.
Okay. It says I'm running at 10,000 ms on Discord, which is really bad. Oh, now I'm at 20 ms. We're good. We're back. And good. It's been happening very often. I don't know why.
That sucks.
That's okay.
All right, so we just have some questions about some stuff.
All right.
So, first question, while we're on the topic about your camp is, I guess, if you could go through like your experiences with it so far this summer, because I know we haven't really talked
Yeah,
about it that much.
just talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
so how's it going so far?
mostly good. Mostly good. So I work,
What's so good about it?
huh?
Yeah, I'm low key interrupting you. I'm sorry.
That's good. I'm working in the with the youngest kids in the camp. Like I'm in the youngest unit. Um, and so some of the kids have been tricky, mostly just because, okay, they're young. Like they don't have all the nuance of how to actually interact, so they're causing problems sometimes. But it hasn't been like a serious issue. Like the kid, it's just been like oh, it's frustrating because you're 7 and you don't understand things, but not because you're actually being malicious. But overall, the kids are really good for the first half of the summer. I have no idea how the kids are going to be second half because we haven't met them yet. But
But then you have
um,
some kids that are just staying for the whole thing.
yeah, we have like 18 or so kids that are staying the whole time. Um, the full the full length of the summer, which is nice. And I like all the kids that are staying the full time. I There's one kid who kind of gets on my nerves every now and again, but mostly they're all good kids. So I'm happy that they're staying. There was one kid who was a big problem and annoying for all the staff, and we are happy that he was first half and he is gone now.
Oh, is it that one kid that you were talking about in the group
Yes,
chat?
yes, he was. I am not going to go into any more details on the podcast because I do not want to dox this kid
He did some bad
or like
things,
say he did some bad
and
Alright.
things.
that's all I'm gonna say. We'll leave it
He
at
was also
that.
I
just
have
he
a
was also just generally a piece of shit. But
I have a question.
yeah.
What made you do this at this game? Like, what got you into it?
So the question was, what made me come and work at this camp?
Yeah, basically.
Um, so that I started going to this camp when I was a kid. I went as a camper when I was 9. All the way until I was 15. This is my last year as a camper. And we found the camp because my dad went to the camp when he was a kid, and we found
It's
that because
relation.
my grandpa apparently, without knowing that this guy ran the camp, was friends with the guy that ran the camp. He was like, "Man, I really want to send my kids to a sleepaway camp," and the guy was like, "So funny thing." Oh, hi Rose. Um, yeah, I was going to this camp as a kid, and
Hello, Mario.
hello. Um, and yeah, Rose is in VC.
All right, Rose. We'll let you stay, but you just have to be quiet.
Um,
Yeah, just like don't spam any of the sound
anyways,
effects. We just want to be able
I
to.
was in.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, I came as a camper. I loved it as a camper. Did 7 years as a camper. Did a year as a CIT in 2020, which is weird. That was a weird year to be doing anything. And then I've been working here pretty much since because they offered me a job after CIT, and I'm having fun here. That's all that really matters. No.
Yeah, I have a camp like that near me. I went to that a lot when I was younger, but I never did like CIT or any counseling on it. But that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never really like. I know most of our friends
Yeah.
like in that group have or um is it no? I think it's just like you and Francisco. Honestly, um, I don't. yeah, I don't know if anyone else had like a counseling job, but you guys have like your camp counselor stories, um, and I don't really have any of those because I never worked as a camp counselor for less than minimum wage like you guys did.
Yeah, I'm still not getting paid minimum wage here, but it's I'm being paid less than minimum wage, but they're giving me free food and free board, so it kind of balances out. Um,
Yep, guys, we've all seen the news. Um, let's talk about the uh, assassination.
I don't I don't want to talk about politics, dude. Um,
Yeah, I don't know if we want to talk about it right now. I mean, like, I'm okay with
Yeah, I
I
talking
mean,
about
it was
politics,
just
but I
quiet
don't
for a
know.
second. I had to bring something up.
it's crazy that it happened, but I'm not going to go into my opinions any further than that because I'd rather just be politically ambiguous on the internet.
Oh yeah, someone on my stream the other night said that I looked like Thomas Crooks.
Well,
Oh my god.
someone said that about you, or you said it yourself?
What was that?
Did someone say that about you?
Oh yeah, so someone just said like they just asked in the chat, "Are you Thomas
Oh
Crooks?"
my god.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was pretty crazy that it happened. Um, and like the day after the whole thing happened, Aiden, I told you about this already, but there was a parade when I was on vacation,
Yeah.
for Trump, and that was
Um,
interesting.
that was interesting.
It was funny.
Sure. Speaking of vacation, Aiden, where
Yeah.
is your dream vacation? Where would you like to go the most?
Um, kind of an unorthodox answer. I mean, I want to go everywhere. Like one of my pipeline dreams is I want to try to visit every country in the world at least once eventually, because I feel like everywhere has at least something interesting to see.
That is a noble cause, but a hard one to get.
Oh no, it's like a pipe dream thing. It's like I'd love
Yeah.
to. I don't think I'm going to because
Okay.
dear God. Um,
Yeah.
but if I had to choose a place that I want to go to the most, honestly, kind of an unorthodox answer, but I'd love to go to Greenland.
Oh, yeah, I've actually I would like sounds like a cool place. I don't know much
Okay,
about it, but I've
okay,
always been
Mr.
interested.
Robot, I heard nothing of what you just said.
Fuck, man, we were just talking about this.
Yeah, that was all robot static from on my end.
Yeah, he was having that problem earlier. I guess there's just like a problem with his Wi-Fi or something.
And now he's deafened. Cool. Um, but yeah, I'd love to go to Greenland because I don't know. I've always been fascinated by the extremes of society, if that makes sense. Like, oh, you're living in one of the hottest places in the world. Oh, you're living in one of the coldest places in the world. Oh, you're living in the middle of nowhere here. Why are you here and how are you living there? Those kind of places. And so I kind of want to visit and just see what life is like there. And there's a lot of that going on in Greenland of just a fascination in the way of why are you living here and how are you living here, but also just yeah, but also just it has beautiful scenery around there, so also great nature vacation.
Yeah, and I guess see like what's in it for the people living there. Why are they living there
Yeah, but
and
also
stuff.
I kind of want to go see and just study it, and like not study feels like the wrong word, but I can't think of a better word. Um, because I don't mean it like, oh, I'm just going to be analyzing your society and being like, this is all the things that you're doing good or bad. It's like, no, that's not what I mean. It's just I want to learn about a new culture and people in those situations are so wildly different from how I live my life, and that would just be cool to experience.
No, okay. So you gotta study each country and like do a review of it, and then put the countries on the tier list. Make a country tier
Country tier
list.
list goes crazy, actually.
Yeah, you just make a vlogging channel going to all these countries. Be
Yeah.
like, hey guys, I went to the poorest country in the world. Like, yo, look at how poor these people are. Like, those YouTubers that just do that? They'll like go to
Dude,
countries
I hate I
and they'll
hate those
show
YouTubers
them
so
like,
much.
hey, I have this
I hate
technology,
those
like you guys
YouTubers, dude.
don't, you know.
Okay, so
Hello.
for hello, I can hear you now.
Okay,
And no, you're robot again.
I'm gonna try some.
But yeah, for the viewers at home that don't know, I am majoring in anthropology, which, if you don't know what anthropology is, it's basically the study of how humans evolve, like human society evolved and came about and changed over time. And so, with that, I like to think I have a pretty deep respect of culture and want to learn about all the different cultures of the world and what makes them unique and cool. So when I see these YouTubers that are doing these things where they go to like one of the poorest countries and they are just showing off the wealth and luxury that they have, it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. It's so annoying because they're completely invalidating the entire experience of, like, yes, these people are objectively not living very good lives, but that doesn't mean that you should rub in their faces how good your life is, because it's not it.
Hey,
Gotcha.
can you hear me?
Hello, yeah, I can hear you now.
Is it not robotic anymore?
Not now.
I am now on my phone's hotspot, so I hope it doesn't do it
Little
again.
Menace. Hello. Little Menace says Jack. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I don't know who the hell that is. Let's go to their channel and see let's figure something out.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know anyone by the name of Little.
Yeah, no, they don't have any videos.
but yeah, if you go to like one of the poorer countries of the world, yeah, objectively they're not living great lives. They have a very low standard of living and human development index, but that doesn't mean that you need to push down on them, because a lot of times it's not their fault that they're living in a low human development index. Usually the fault of government corruption, stealing all the money, or infighting because of poorly drawn borders because of usually the British. Um, Sometimes the French, usually the British. Um, like, a lot of times it's not their fault that the poorer nations of the world are struggling, because, like, take a look at Africa, for example. You have so many different people groups that have developed independent of each other, and a lot of them have hundreds of thousands, no, not thousands, oh, actually, maybe, yeah, no, thousands in some cases, but hundreds of years of history, um, of them all, and some of them love each other, some of them hate each other. And when these borders are artificially drawn and you have these groups together, and one of them has hated this other group for 300 years, and suddenly they just are expected, no, just live together perfectly fine. It's like, well, it's not that simple. It's not going to work that well. And that you're seeing that in a lot of poor countries, and it's having a repercussion, like a dangerous and bad repercussion on the average people in that country. And so when I see, like, looping back around, when I see these like rich YouTubers go around, it's like, hey, look at this phone, look at this gold jewelry, look at this gold watch. And I was like, dude, these people, it's not their fault. They're living in this. Stop.
Yeah, and like even then, countries like that. I was watching this video. I think it was like a Moist video. He was talking about some guy that was just going around and showing people his phone and stuff, like showing it to a classroom. He kind of cut out the camera, but with the teacher like kind of came in and like showed the YouTuber guy his phone. So countries like this, they do have that kind of technology, but everyone just kind of assumes that they
Yeah,
don't, and then it's just like, oh, these kids,
and
they don't know, they don't have anything,
so
they're not.
there's also that where it's like people assume, oh, these countries don't have any of that stuff, and yeah, it's true that most of the significantly less of the population in like the Central African Republic, for example, has access to the internet and a phone than the rest of the world. But that doesn't mean that the technology is completely foreign to them. A lot of the people there still know what the stuff is, they just can't buy it. And even if they can buy it, they don't have access to the internet and they don't have like cell reception because the infrastructure there has just not been developed enough outside of the capital. And even in the capital, it's still very spotty.
What's the topic we're on right now? I'm a little lost.
Uh,
I had to leave for a while, so I'm a little
so
confused.
Poverty tourism.
yeah,
Oh my god! Don't even fucking get me started, bro. I hate it. It's so disrespectful, isn't it?
yeah, no, that's basically what I
It's
was just
so
saying.
disrespectful. Yeah, no, it's like horrible. I see these white like nepo baby fucks walk into these countries, and like it's kind of like making fun of them. Really, it's like
It is.
like it's like a showcase for your like how
Yeah.
oh I'm so much better than you. Look at what I have, and look what you don't. You have to eat
There's
whatever you can
also
find. I'm gonna bring all my money here and ruin your day.
with what a lot of these people in these countries, like it's not their fault that they're living in epic
Yeah,
poverty, as I was saying,
yeah,
because it's
yeah, yeah.
like government corruption, badly drawn borders, and just infighting in the countries.
It's never the
Because
person's fault, really.
yeah, because you look at the history of these countries, and they did not deserve to be the way they are.
Colonized,
Yeah, no, like you
conquered.
take a look at West Africa, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the most historically rich regions in the world, like modern day Mali, Ghana, Mauritania, like that whole region, the Cote d'Ivoire, that whole region,
Uh-huh.
historically has some of the most rich kingdoms in the entire world.
Wasn't that guy the king,
But
Mansa Musa? Wasn't he from there?
Mansa Musa was from there. Mansa Musa
Yeah.
was from Mansa Musa was from modern day Mali.
Yeah, didn't he even give like a bunch
Oh.
of gold
Yeah,
to poor people in the streets,
Mm.
and
and
while he was going up the country
he
and like
he
caused them.
single handedly crashed the Egyptian economy. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just throwing gold to everyone, and it just caused this insane inflation, all because of one guy.
it's just hilarious. Um, but that area is historically one of the richest areas of the world, but now it's part of what's known as the Coup Belt because the area is so dangerous because they put so many competing tribes together with arbitrary borders that the people don't want to be together. People hate each other due to many years of history and wars going on between each other. And so you put these people together and they're not going to run a functioning society together because they don't
Hmm.
because one
Yeah.
group wants to be above the other always, and the group that's below is trying to kill the top group to become the top group, and it's a never-ending cycle. And so these countries have I don't think I don't think Togo has had a actually no, is it Togo? There's no, I don't think Burkina Faso, that's the one. I don't think Burkina Faso has had like a free election in like
Yeah, I
30
think
years because they just keep overthrowing their government. And it's like, how is this a functioning country? And the answer is it's not because the
it's not
people,
though, is it?
yeah, it's not because the borders are completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these countries, or quote unquote countries, are just a bunch of tribes in different regions just kind of put together because they're in the
Yeah,
same
like
area, but they really don't have anything in common.
yeah, like think of Europe for example. If you had a foreign power come and colonize Europe, and they put the English and the French together, that would not have been a functioning state before like the World Wars. The English and the French fucking hated each other. Um, it's the same thing. If you put those two states together, it's not going to work. It's the same kind of concept. You have all these different people groups. The only difference between between like the England and France example and the regions down there is that the people groups in Europe are a lot less dense than they are in sub-Saharan Africa. Like you take sub-Saharan Africa and the people groups are like it's a jumbled mess of ethnic groups. And a lot of them would probably be able to work really well together, but they need to be able to draw their own borders because otherwise it would just be it'd be the fucking mess it is now. And you see that like we've been talking a lot about Africa, but that's not like an exclusive African issue. You see that also in
Latin America, Central
yeah, you see
America.
that in South and
Yeah.
Central America. You see that in Southeast Asia. You see that in the Middle East. You see that in Central Asia, even though that wasn't necessarily like colonialization the way we usually think about it, but that was under the control of Moscow for a while, and they specifically drew the borders to cause chaos if they ever got independent. And wow, look at that, chaos happened.
Wait, really? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, how so? Are you talking about how the British took over India and it just left it with like these
Yeah, but
really
like
weird
if you
borders?
sometime soon I want you to zoom in on the border between like Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. It is a really messy border. And the Soviets specifically drew that border so that if the Union ever broke up, there would be infighting in those countries because they never wanted them to rise to power. And you see that in a lot of colonial powers. Like I think if I'm remembering right, I think the reason that the borders are drawn they're not actually as arbitrary as I've been leaning them to be. I think a lot of colonial powers drew the borders specifically so that the people would be fighting amongst themselves so much that they wouldn't rise up and try to gain independence. Like if you're if you're fighting amongst yourself, you won't be fighting us. So we can keep controlling you and keep taking your resources.
Yo, Derek! Thank you very much for calling us Sigma. Yeah, how you doing?
Guys, we're Sigma.
When I recently like met up with Derek again, before we didn't talk for a while, but I knew he had a YouTube channel. And it was funny because when I met up with him, he did not recognize me at all because we were at a group event. And so when he gave me his Discord, I was like, yeah, I know that's your Discord because that was the name of your YouTube channel that you had when we were in middle school. He was like, bro, what? So there's this one time he was live. I forget exactly what he was playing. He was calling with a couple people that I knew. And, when they saw my name in the chat, they were like, oh my God, is that the guy that brought the Minecraft figures to school?
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what
So
you're
for those
talking
who don't
about.
know, there are these little Minecraft figures that I used to collect. I still kind of do. And I have a box of them. I used to bring them to school and I would just play with them with my friends. So one day I found out that I just lost one. And it turns out that one of our friends was the one that just had it the whole time.
Does he still have it?
Yes, he does. He never gave it back.
Oh my god. You never got it back?
Yeah, no, I never got it back. And
Oh no.
I think it was a year after I found out that he took it. I asked him about it, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, no, you're not getting that one
It's
back."
like it's one of those things you bring back up to him every like few years and it's like, hey Zach.
Yeah, no, when he invited me to that meetup I was like, yeah, you remember that Minecraft figure that you
Exactly. You
took
have
from
the
me?
Minecraft figurine.
And he was like, who reminded him? And I was like, bro, I never forgot.
When did you give it to him?
I didn't give it to him. He stole it from me.
When did he take it?
7th grade or 8th grade? No, it was 7th grade. Yeah. Yeah, no, like
Dude,
that was I want to say 2017.
it's been like 7
So
years.
yeah, no, that was I was like, yeah, 7 years ago. Oh my god.
Dude, it's been like 7 years. What the heck? Oh
Yeah, no, and I
no.
think the last time I talked to him about it, he told me that he doesn't know where it is. So, rip.
Damn.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I have no idea if I'm ever gonna get that thing back. But yeah, anyway, back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, all these countries that I've been talking about, like even though they are objectively in a very bad political, economic, and social state, I still want to go to them because they can still have some really cool like. Because I've done some research on some of these countries, and dude, they have some really cool things to offer, like really cool locations, culture that just is never talked about. Because whenever you hear about these countries, it's always war, war, war. Like I just want to go to places and see the things that I don't hear about because the media never tells you the cool things. The media always tells you what you want to
Right
be
now, I'm
depressed
just
about
trying to pull up a
today.
picture of those borders that you were talking about. Those countries, the Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyz.
Kyrgyzstan,
Yeah,
Kyrgyzstan. And then
yeah.
Uzbekistan.
No, those
Yeah,
borders look so weird. I'm looking at them right now. It's like this weird spirally thing.
but dude, those borders are despicable. They suck.
Ugh, I gotta use this
They're
stupid
so
snipping
bad.
tool every time I want to take a screenshot. It's so annoying.
Snippy snip.
Snippy, snippy, snip, snip, snip. Ugh.
Damn,
Yeah, because I used to be able to screenshot, but
they removed it
I
from the
can't
game.
do that anymore. Mm. So annoying.
Um,
Ugh, I'm trying to figure out how I can just like get the picture on the screen. It's just being annoying. I have the screenshot. I'm gonna add source, image.
while Cameron figures this out,
Yeah, I don't.
Hunter, do you have any other questions for me for
I
right
don't
now?
know.
Not right now, but
Not
I
right now.
will soon.
All right, cool.
All right, yeah. Here's the image right now. I
Yeah,
have it up on
it's a
screen.
mess.
Yeah, just
No,
look at that. It's
yeah,
really
no. So
messy.
there's a bunch of exclaves and enclaves all scattered all throughout because I think the Soviets wanted to make sure that like there was pockets of Tajiks in Kyrgyzstan area and Kyrgyz people in Tajik areas and Uzbeks all over the place. They wanted to make sure it was ethnically crazy so that they couldn't unite easily. It's just a whole mess. It's a whole mess.
Oh yeah, I just realized that there are like these pockets of land that are owned by the different
Yeah,
countries just
and
inside of the other
I
country.
some of there's a lot of other examples of borders like that that were just insane. A lot of them have been cleared up. That one hasn't. Um, there was at one point a border between Bangladesh and India that had really weird border. So there was a exclave of India where it was this, like the one small town, like pretty much only a few blocks. I think there was like 100 people living in that entire area, and there was no government office in that town, and so you couldn't get a passport without going to another town. And to get to the other town, you needed to go through Bangladesh, but you couldn't go through Bangladesh without a passport. But you couldn't get the passport because you couldn't get to India. So they were stuck. Yeah, the entire town was just stuck.
Yeah, and I mean, India still has just like a really weird
Oh,
border.
India definitely still has.
It's like these narrow strips of land that connect.
Yeah,
it
the Seven
to
Sister
these
States.
other...
It's a whole thing. I don't really remember what goes on over there, but I know that that's been a whole that was a whole thing for a while. But at least like the exclave and enclave stuff with Bangladesh has been mostly sorted out. Yeah, that one town, you needed to go through Bangladesh to get to India. And then when you got to that India area where you could get your passport, you still weren't in mainland India. You needed to go through Bangladesh again to get to mainland India. It was awful. Terrible.
Yeah, no, you're just screwed. Like, there's nothing you can do.
There were other places like exclaves are a really weird thing around the world because it's not even just like in foreign countries and weird corners of the earth that we have them, because we also have them in the U.S. Like, do you know if you look at Minnesota, you have that little jut up into the middle of Canada? So that area is the Lake of the Woods region, and there's a little town right at the top of it. Not too many people live up there, but enough where it's like, it's a town. But there's no land connecting that town to the rest of the United States. So you need to drive through Canada to get to the US, which usually isn't an issue. But during COVID, when the borders were closed, became an issue. Because the people didn't really have many resources in the town because there's like 100 people living there in the middle of the woods. Not really much happening over there.
Wait, so then how do you get there?
Either boat through the lake to get to mainland US, or convince the border guards to let them go to the grocery store. There was another point out in Washington, Point Roberts, that similar kind of situation. It was cut off from the U.S. and it's cut off from the U.S. by Vancouver. And so, normally not an issue because normally the U.S.-Canada border is very open, very, very safe. But again, during COVID, the people there, they at least had a supermarket in that town. So that wasn't as dire because it's actually, more of a place as opposed to the Lake of the Woods area. But it was still a whole thing of, okay, how do we get food? And no, the craziest thing is that all the schools for that town were around Seattle, or like not Seattle, but like we're in mainland US. So the school district always needs to ship the kids from Point Roberts up through Canada down into their district every day. But during COVID, the school district needed to rent ferries to get the kids over because they couldn't go over the border. Now the border restrictions aren't as bad, but there was a point where that was just a whole terrible situation. Because these people were just stuck, could not do anything.
All right, so I think we're gonna move on to some other questions. I think
Yeah.
let's ask you about, like, what are some of your favorite countries? Hmm. Yeah, how do we want to go about asking these, Pancho?
Well, I'll ask you. Can I ask you some, and you can choose which one you'd rather go to?
Rather go to? That's a completely separate question. But
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Sure.
Amsterdam or Madrid
Fuck, that's tough.
or Vienna. Or Vienna in there.
Out of those three, I think I'm gonna go to Vienna just because I'm a musician and that's music
Yes.
town.
Yes.
I do want to go to all
So
three really badly. Yeah, but also that's where
probably.
a lot of musicians, like a lot of classical musicians, came up through. Like I think
What do
I
you
think
think of
Mozart lived there for a while.
Jakarta or Warsaw?
Anyways,
What?
Pancho, so Jakarta, which by the way,
Or Warsaw?
they're actually changing the capital of Indonesia soon.
To where?
Jakarta is just way too busy. The government was like, we can't get to our jobs on time. There's too much traffic. We need to move.
Where are they going to move it to? Do you know, or does it not
They're
matter?
moving to the island of Borneo. I don't remember they're building a new capital. I think they're actually done. Wait, let me check this because I think they're about done. New
Hey, I fart
capital,
too, dude. That's awesome.
new capital of Indonesia. Nusantara.
Dude,
Is
Gianni
it?
fucking hates our podcast, dude. They hate our podcast. Holy fuck.
Man,
Yeah, I
fuck
don't
the
know
haters.
either. Dude, RSO XC Money hates our podcast too. Dude, we're fucked.
Okay, then don't watch it.
Dude, we're gonna yeah, they hate us.
Okay.
You know both of them?
Yeah,
I know this Dadoon guy.
they're moving the capital.
What's
They're
up, dude?
they're moving the capital of Indonesia to a built city, like a planned city, on the island of Borneo called Nusantara,
Uh-huh.
and they are apparently, where did they say it? Scheduled to be inaugurated on the 17th of August of 2024. So very soon.
Dude, people hate us, dude. Holy shit. Anyway, okay, well, Jakarta or Warsaw? Which one?
Uh, I'm gonna
Yeah, that's how you
between
say it. We're
Jakarta.
going. Yeah,
I'm gonna
going.
say Warsaw just because I don't love megacities and Jakarta
Yeah.
is stupidly busy.
Okay, I've got three here. London, Prague, or Seoul.
I think I'm gonna go with Prague.
Okay, yep. I said Prague,
Uh,
didn't I?
yeah.
Beijing or Rome?
Well, I've already been to Rome, so I'm gonna say Beijing because I want to go to a new city.
Nice. Cairo or Paris?
Everyone goes to Paris. Paris has really cool things. Uh,
Paris it is. Oh, Cairo or Paris?
I'm gonna say Paris, and purely for selfish reasons because I know someone
Fair.
there and I know how I can get a free room there with just staying with that guy.
Yeah. Budapest or Wellington?
Huh? Well,
Yeah.
Who is this C
Yeah,
Money
yeah, yeah.
guy? Is that me? I feel like it's someone that I might know because a lot of people call me C Money.
Yeah, well, they're definitely not impersonating you. I do know, Dadoon and Parker Van Dusen. I know two of these guys.
bro, why do we have haters?
Because I posted the link on my Instagram, and everyone's
Oh,
hating it.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
Free engagement.
Yeah,
Anyways, so
they're boosting that.
it was Wellington and what?
Booty. Yeah, Budapest. Budapest. Wellington. We're gonna get off this soon. I just have
Yeah.
to ask these questions, and then we'll
So
get on.
Wellington versus Budapest. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Wellington or Budapest? Budapest, actually, Budapest.
I think I'm gonna go to Wellington just because I kind of
Great.
want to go to New Zealand.
Okay. Um, hmm. Bangkok or Nasa? Nasa.
I'm gonna go with Bangkok because I need to go to the city where my dad was born.
Oh, he was born there?
He was born in Bangkok.
That's awesome, dude. Dude, you definitely have brunette hair.
Me?
You definitely have brunette hair. There's no way you don't.
I mean, yeah, I do, but also my dad's not Thai.
Cameron, back me up on this one. That he has brunette hair.
I'll turn on the camera right now.
Cameron, back me up on this one. Cameron, dude, he's got brunette hair. Guys, this maybe they're right. We do suck. What are we? What else is
What
there
are we
to
doing?
talk about? I can talk about my vacation. I'll talk about my vacation.
Okay, so I actually have a question.
All right.
Oh
Cool.
no, go ahead. You do the question real quick. Sorry.
NinjaMagic, you are a very big figure in the Rapala We Fish community.
Oh no.
Oh my god, yeah.
I would like to hear about your experience with that game and everything. Seeing as you're the
Oh
speedrun
god.
world record
So
holder.
that game, if you don't know, best game ever made, released for the Wii in 2009, Rapala We Fish. I hold the world record of the speedrun.
Oh, shit.
I'm also the only person who has speedrun the game, but
Well,
details.
records are records. So
Details. So I was introduced to that game. I got it. I think that was like my first game on the Wii that wasn't prepackaged with it. I got it for either my birthday or Christmas when I got my Wii, I think. I really don't remember too well because it was so long ago, but I know it was my grandpa that got me the game.
what's the
because
game called again?
Rapala We Fish. So my grandpa was
Apollo.
he just got me a bunch of
What an
he got me a bunch of
ugly
like
game.
honestly really shitty sports games
Dude,
early
this
on.
game is like ugly.
I mean,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
What's your
I
point?
mean, well, it has a 96% of people like the game as a 4.9 out of 5. I didn't look again. I just saw it and closed the tab. 30 reviews. So, not bad.
No, it's one of those games that like
following.
you play it as a kid, you love it as a kid, but it is
Yeah.
objectively bad.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, we've all played games like that.
Yeah, I remember you showing like streaming the game, and each fish had their own weird, goofy voice line.
Yeah, so there's a random chance for for every fish to just say a voice line when you catch them, and then when you go into
Really?
the and then when you go into the library, like it shows you can go into a database of all the fish at a certain point, and whenever you click on them, it plays the voice line they can say um when you catch them, and it is so
Awesome.
goofy. It is so goofy.
What are some of your favorite voice lines from the fish in that game?
Oh god.
I don't remember them all off the top of my head, so I can't say.
Okay, we'll get back to you on that.
Actually, wait, give me a sec. I can. So some of my S tier, I think one of them is just gonna have to be like the fucking plate of sushi that you can just fish up. Which if it plays its voice line, we'll just say very fast, like, "Hello, I'm Sushi. I'm lost. You know the way to Tokyo." It's
Really?
in this very silly,
That's
goofy
awesome,
voice.
man. Awesome. I love it. Yeah.
And then
Well, that's
So I
something.
know you said you were the only person who speedran the game, but aren't there some other records of some people doing speedruns? Like, what's the category that you speedran specifically?
first place all races. So basically for that, yeah, so any percent. No, any percent. So you can progress through the story if you get like second or third on some races, you just can't get dead last. And you just need to get first on the last race, I think. I don't know. Speedrun.com just gave me both. I thought I told it no, don't do that. Just update my current placing, and it's just no. You're gonna add 2 spots. Yeah. So there are other runs, but the other runs people have done, they've just done individual levels. Yeah. Yeah. Every other run that's been done has just been individual levels. No one else has run the full game. Because everyone's like, dude, I don't want to play this game for 3 hours straight. Yeah. Um, I did in my last run. I did learn a new technique to get him in faster, which I think I learned as a kid, but I just forgot by the time I started speedrunning it because I hadn't played the game in so long. Well, no, I remember it now. I used it at the end of the last runs, but which it worked really well at the end. So I just need to apply it better throughout the entire time next time. It's more taking slow reels of the fish in instead of just cranking it. Like it's one of those paradoxical things, like go slower to go faster. Because the thing is with the game, you have the fish do this thing where they can pull at your line, and it says stop reeling if you're like trying to pull the fish in while it says stop reeling. The line breaks and you lose the fish, which obviously bad for speedrun. And so what I learned to do is I just take I do like one reel, give it like half a second, do another reel. Like I don't just crank the reel the entire time, and that way the line doesn't get a lot of pressure on it. I don't know if that's a intended mechanic in the game because I genuinely, yeah, all 2 of you, including me. And then yeah, I don't know if that's an intended mechanic in the game because, dude, the game is sometimes I can't tell what's intended and what's not. It's one of those. But it's a fun game. I like it. The only other people that have also said that's fun are people that also grew up playing it. But every person that I've tried to introduce to the game has said, "Man, this is dog shit." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's why
Because
I
you
love
were
it."
the only person to speedrun the game, you were like the head moderator, am I right?
Yes, you are.
Did you ever end up playing multiplayer with that person that ended up taking
We
over for
did
you
play
and went to your
multiplayer.
school?
Yes, that was like the first time I played multiplayer ever because it's like the only other person I've ever found willing to play the game with me. Dude, the game it's goofy. It's definitely one of those games where I think it has much more entertainment value to the average person when you're just watching it than actually playing it. Because it is, I can, I think most people would not really have fun playing it, but I love it. Oh, speaking of bad games, though, Mr. Cameron, when are we gonna play? When are we gonna play like Cars 2 video game and the Rudolph game? When are those streams?
Well, I definitely want to play the Rudolph game around Christmas time. So I guess I would just wait until then, and then Cars 2, I don't know. I guess I could just do that whenever.
Yeah.
Right now, I just have a bunch of games that I want to stream. I'm not really sure what I want to do next, but Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I will say this. I kind of do want to do another like Xenoblade stream soon because it's been a while since the last time I've done one
Hell
of
yeah.
those.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where since it's a story-based game, I don't want you to go too long without playing it because I want you to actually remember what happened.
Mm-hmm. Another stream I want to do
Um,
kind of soon
and
is so you know how we did that the League stream with you and Lena. So I found out recently that Sarah also has a League account and hasn't
I
played
think
in a
so.
really long
Yeah.
time. No, she has, because
Oh
she
yeah, yeah,
told
yeah,
us
yeah.
while we were in Walmart. So I was thinking we get four people together that have never or haven't touched the game in a long time and
Do we want to
just,
do that to her?
I guess whoever's there on our team is just going to have to deal with us. But yeah, I think that would be fun to do. Just add another person to our team.
And then we just bully the last person.
Well, four people was the original idea,
Mm.
but then I found out that there's actually a fifth person who could be on our team, and that would be my sister's boyfriend, who I guess is like he's played it before, to my knowledge. I don't know how
Play
good
it
he
for
is
the
though.
bit and then never play it again. Dang. Yeah, like show the full extent of our incompetence.
Well, we'll have three people that don't know what they're doing and two people that kind of know what they're
Two?
doing.
I think it's like Lena, and then who else would actually be competent?
I'm under the impression that my sister's boyfriend would know
Okay.
what he was doing when
He actually
playing the
knows what
game
he's
because I
doing?
guess he used to play it a lot or something.
Okay.
Yeah, the only reason I say we should do it soon is just
Gotcha.
because Sarah says she can only really run the game on her computer at home and not on her laptop that she
Yeah,
brings to
see, for me
school.
with streaming is I need to be home. Uh, which is not gonna happen. I'm not gonna. Probably my first stream back will be on like the 25th of August when I move back into college.
Yeah, I mean, you could just play it with us. You don't have to be streaming it
Yeah.
too. You could just be in the call while we play.
Oh yeah, no, I can play it. I'll be in the call. I can play. I just probably won't stream. Yeah, the only thing with me is just because I'm working here and I need to wake up relatively early. No, not relatively. I do need to wake up early every day. Um, I can't stay too late because I want to make sure that I'm getting, a normal amount of sleep as opposed to like 2 hours something.
Yeah, that's crazy. I I don't know when I wake up like during the summer and just kind of having a job and everything and during the semester
Yeah,
especially I
neither am
didn't
I.
really have the chance to sleep in at all. I kind of just woke up when I
Me.
had to because I had to go to class or I had to go to work. But when I'm able to sleep in, I try to get up before. My goal is to try to be up by 9, but right now I'm kind of working towards 10 because sometimes I just end up waking up at like noon and I feel like so much of the day has just gone
Belt.
by and been wasted. So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get up earlier.
The daily wake up for me at camp here is 7:30 a.m. every day, except for Sunday. Except for Sunday when it's 9 a.m. So I can stay a little bit later tonight.
All right, for this section, I just give
Um,
up. I don't know what we're talking about, but yeah, that does actually go hard, right? Am I right? I'm kind of just talking to talk
whoa,
because I don't
that
want the
goes
listener to
hard
get
actually.
bored. Yeah, no, you understand, right? Yeah, no, something about the podcast. Let's get back to where
Gotcha.
I can actually know what we're talking about. Thanks.
Yeah, speaking of the podcast, we're actually still doing that. Do you have anything else you want to ask for me, or does Pancho have anything he wants to ask me, or?
Oh,
I didn't have a question.
I thought you did.
no, I was just gonna talk about my vacation.
No. Yeah, go for
Yeah. Hold on, just give me a sec.
it. Oh man, that's a crazy vacation.
Dude, it was awesome. Hold on.
Um, did you and Mr. Shimpy Boy go to the same place, or is it a different vacation?
Um, so
Okay.
my vacation was I just got back. I left on Monday morning. Um, me and what the fuck did you just put in there? Oh, my
Monkey.
monitor just turned off. Hold on. This is great.
Cool.
Okay, monitor's back. So me and my girlfriend went with her family on vacation to Ocean City, Maryland. And it was Ash does know. Ash is my girlfriend, so um we went there. It was sick. Um it was surprisingly not as hot as I thought it would be, to be honest, which is kind of
Yeah.
weird. I've been on I think four vacations so far, and they've all been to the beach, and they've all been excruciatingly hot. Not this one though, kind of, which is pretty surprising, especially this time of year in like Maryland, where it's
Dude,
supposed to be hot.
it's been so hot up here. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, like at least relative to this, how the state normally is.
I've got a problem
It's
with heat. I hate it. I hate heat. It's
we
like the worst.
like the heat wave finally broke in these past 2 days or so, but like for
Mhm.
most of the time I've been here, it's been like in the high 80s, low 90s,
My
which for context viewers, I'm in Maine right now, and that's really hot for Maine. Cold
yeah,
state.
my friend who lives in Texas currently, it was 118 degrees like a few weeks ago,
That sounds awful.
which is insane. That was the peak of the heat wave, which was great. Yeah, actually brings up a great point. I've been on a trip like almost every week this summer. I've been tripping. I was with you, Cameron, for a little, and that was very fun. I had a ton of fun. They did okay. Let's talk about this. They didn't know Cameron and his family. I love the family. They love me and whatever. But they his
Do
mom went
they?
to my house with my mom, and his mom went to this concert, I think. And she came back, she as in Cameron's mom came back to my house, and I got home from work, um, like I don't know, 12 or whatever. And she's like, "Hey," I have no idea. And she was like, "Hey, it would be really cool if you came up to it's Pigeon Forge, right?" Oh shit. Um, it's whatever. Okay. So I think that's yeah, yeah. I'm talking like it's a real conversation, but we're live. Yeah, we how's we doing now?
One of these days, we gotta get Ash on the podcast
Yeah, eventually.
because, like, you've told me about her before,
I don't know
but
how much we'd have to talk about,
I know
but yeah,
nothing about her. I've never met with her or talked with her. So, like, I don't. How do I even? Is she even real? That's yeah.
for context on the if she's real, me and Ashley have been together for over 3 years, and Cameron hasn't met her. So
Okay, so that reminded me of something.
yeah,
My mom's cousin, I think. I don't
we
don't
both did
actually know.
one.
I don't actually know how I'm related to her. I just know that she's family. Anyways, my aunt, as I'm gonna say, easiest way to just put it, she was dating this guy, for a while, and like a few years, and kept going to parties, and whenever my parents could make it to these parties, the guy was not there. Like he just had whenever my parents could make it, he couldn't, and vice versa. And so it just started the joke like, no, he's not real. He doesn't exist. You're making it up. And then they finally got married a few years ago, and we went to the and we went to the wedding, and there he was. Like it was like, okay, he
Oh,
does
you married
exist, but like
no.
my mom kept making a joke. It's like, no, you're a paid actor. You're a paid actor. You're not real. You're not the real guy. It's all a bit. Um, and then he and then pretty much since I don't think we've seen him very often. Like I think we've met him like two other times since they got married in like 2019. So it's been like 5 years and we haven't seen this guy. And so the bit still stands. Like I don't know if he's real. He's just a guy. Like no, paid actor. Like he never.
That's a lie. I got paid to go on this vacation with her family
Damn.
because I thought she'd be lonely. They're gonna give me a raise soon. So yeah, I'm gonna roll in cash now.
You had to get paid to go stay with your girlfriend.
Well, yeah. I that sucks. That sucks. Shut up. No more Riz, dude. Riz is out of the so I went on vacation and let's get back to the thing. No, shut up. You're not gonna talk about anything. You're
The
done. You're
Rizzler.
done. Only me and Aiden will talk. So we're gonna talk about how I surprised Cameron at the thing. So your mom came over to my house and was like, "Hey, you want to like just pop up and don't tell anyone?" And this was like 3 weeks before I went, Cameron, by the way. And it was awesome. You guys were like starstruck. It was sick. It was awesome to see you guys like, "Oh yay, he's here!" And then we had fun. And then we had fun. We went to the gym together, and that was fun as well.
Nice.
We went in the water a lot, which was also fun. Not Cameron though. He didn't go in the water.
Lame.
Well, he did go in the water,
Lame.
but not as cool as we did. We went at night, and you didn't go in with us. You, bruh. Yeah.
Lame. So I just randomly remembered, yeah, Poncho, you and me still have not met, and we're going to the same college this next semester.
Not the next semester. The next year's
Not?
semester, like next. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
young, tiny
Yeah.
child.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're gonna meet hopefully before then because I almost met you.
Almost.
After in June or May, I think it was, I went up to Cameron's house and you were there the night before
Yeah, I remember that.
and I wasn't, and I was supposed to go that night. But maybe
No, delete that message. Delete that message.
let's
No,
not talk
delete the
about
message.
like
Delete.
the
No.
real college.
Yeah.
That is
Please,
doxing,
please do not dox our
doxing,
college.
doxing. She also goes there. She goes there now, which
Oh,
I
yo.
did tell her that I think, but I guess she doesn't know. But now she does.
Yeah, I go to that school.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good school. Uh, dual majoring in anthropology and music. Woo!
Yay! I'm gonna minor in music, I think, maybe.
It's a fun program.
Is it? I hear a lot of bad things, not from
Bleep.
the program, but from a lot of different colleges.
Okay. Well, now this VOD is gonna have to be edited.
Oh, fuck. I was like, what did I do wrong? And then I realized.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Okay.
it might
Cool.
just be Ashley here. So
It says 4 viewers.
It says 2 for me.
It says 4 for
Which one
me.
is fuck? Well, shit, it says
Uh-oh.
started streaming 13 minutes ago. Okay, now it says 4. Well, well, I doxed my own name on here once.
Anyways, the college that we're going to.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the music program.
Okay.
I don't really know. The people there seem nice in my opinion. The classes, I've had no bad experiences with them, so you know.
Is this your? Are you going into your 3rd year of college?
Yeah, I'm going into junior year.
Oh, it's getting serious.
Yeah.
You going for just a normal degree, master's, doctorate? What are you going for?
Probably not a doctorate. I don't really want a PhD. I don't really want to be a doctor. That doesn't sound fun. I don't want to write a book.
Yeah, fair.
Which I would need to write a book if I wanted my PhD, and I don't want to write a book. So no, not really.
I'm going to get my doctorate. I will write a book.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I am.
We'll see where things go.
Money.
Fair.
I just know. I already know it's gonna be fucking ass. The economy's already shit, and I'm gonna need it. Higher
Yeah,
degree, higher pay. Yeah, I am.
But you were going to be a teacher, right?
Yes. Yeah, the higher the degree, the higher pay you get for like every field, I think.
Yeah, so I think the highest I'd go is masters. I don't
I'm in a
really
master's program, so I'm already locked into that.
gotcha.
I'm
Yeah,
already doing it.
I don't really have much incentive to get a PhD. The master's is kind of just we'll see how I'm feeling at the end of senior year. We'll see if I want to keep studying.
That's fair.
But right now I don't have too much incentive, so it's just we'll see.
Have you done any internships yet?
No, I applied for one. We'll see where that goes. Otherwise, I'm just going to be doing more applications and getting jobs in town.
Okay. Speaking of jobs, I'm quitting my job that I complain about to Cameron all the time. It's so bad. Yeah. 1 to 2 in the morning. My God, it's so
quitting a bad job, dub.
Yeah, I've only had bad jobs so far. I haven't had a single good job that makes me feel like I want to be there. Hopefully now I'm going to deliver pizzas. Doesn't sound exciting, but
Yo.
it's a small place, so we don't get many orders. So that means we can just sit down. I know someone that already works there, so I've got a connection, and he says that he just sits down and does nothing for a long time. And you know what? I would love to be paid to do nothing. Yeah, it's great.
Cameron, do you know where this pizza place is?
He doesn't.
Okay.
I haven't told him.
Okay. I'm not. Then I will not ask on stream because I was just gonna ask, would I know the place?
No, I don't think so. Where are you? I don't know where you're from anyway, and I'm not going to ask because
Not on stream.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Oh yeah, no, never mind. I definitely wouldn't know it then.
Yeah, I live pretty far from them. It's like 2 minutes from my house. Honestly, I could walk there, but also I need a car to deliver the pizzas, so that's just pointless.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, and they close at like 9 to 10, and that 9 to 10 sounds heaven to me. Instead of being there at 1 and having to wake up at 7 for classes every day,
Fair.
that sucks. Yeah, I can come home. I can come home and study before the
Whoa.
next day starts.
Whoa.
Isn't that insane? I've had the job. I had the job the entirety of my freshman year of college, and you know what? It was genuinely the worst. Better than my first job though, which was at a Rite Aid,
Damn.
which was also horrible. I hated that one too. Um, yeah,
The only
yeah.
real jobs I've ever had have both been camp counseling jobs, and the one I'm currently at is so much better than my first one because the
You
bosses aren't
sound like you.
abusive.
You sound like you like it. Like
Yeah,
from
no,
what
I
I
do.
gather, you enjoy it, which I'm
I
happy
do a
for you.
lot.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. I love this camp so much. The first one I didn't. The first one that I worked at, which I only worked at because I couldn't come to this one because I thought I was going to be in Europe over the summer. Um, but then that got canceled. But anyways, the first camp that I worked at, the bosses were a little bit abusive to the workers, and that was not fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Um, abusive, like how?
Um.
If
Not
we're
like
not getting too into it, I don't want to.
it's more that they would not give us any support at all for any troubled kids. They would, um,
Oh no.
and they would not teach us what any of the rules are, and then yell at us when we didn't follow them,
Oh,
and pay us like fucking dirt for, and then it was a whole lot of things. The biggest thing there is we had a kid that year that was nonverbal nonverbal autistic,
okay.
which, if we had proper support for the kid, wouldn't have been a problem. But they just said, okay, hi, you're the new guy, you're working with him. And I'm like,
Oh,
I've never
dude.
worked with kids like this before. I don't have training for this. I don't know how to work with him. Can I get help? No. And so that was frustrating as heck.
Yeah.
Um, and then I learned later on in the summer that there was this woman that was working there that was working with like the youngest like preschool kids that had special education training and worked with kids like him the entire rest of the year. And I'm like, why the fuck is this kid with me and not her?
That's
You have
that's
some
a
you have
waste of
someone
time.
yeah, you have someone who is special ed trained here, and you put the kid that needs the special ed trained person to have a good summer, you put him with the random 17 what no with the random 16-year-old who's never done this before. What the fuck? That was my first job. That was my first No, that wasn't my first counseling job. That was my first job as a whole. And they put me with this kid. I'm like, what are you doing?
That
Yeah.
is the worst.
I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Super hard impossible mode. Yeah.
And also the other counselors at that camp just fucking sucked, dude.
Yeah.
Like I was asking them, I was like, hey, you've worked your years past, right? And this kid has come years past. Can you give me some tips to help with this kid? And they're like, no, he's your problem now. I'm gonna go deal with these guys. And they didn't even deal with the other kids. They just sat there on their phones and made sure that they didn't kill themselves
Oh,
instead of
yes.
actually like being a camp counselor. Which,
They are so helpful. They
yeah,
sound like the nicest people.
it, that was not a fun job.
Yeah, dude, that sucks.
And
Did
then
that
I
like
found out.
sour the whole experience? Or
Well, it didn't sour camp counseling as a whole because I came to this camp afterwards and I was like, wow, this is how a camp should be run. This is fun. This is good.
Yeah.
They give me proper support when I'm having issues. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, the owner of the camp that was like really awful. He was really old, and the year after I was working there, like a few months after I stopped working there, he passed away, and I wanted to feel sad because I don't like when people die.
Hmm.
But man, it was really hard to be upset
Yeah.
because he treated me like shit. That was fun. But yeah, I'm working at this camp now, and I do really like it. It's a lot of fun. The staff here are great. The kids are mostly great. Um, and I actually, I, I think the biggest difference between the two is when I was working at the first camp, my job was mostly just bring the kids from point A to point B, and I don't really have to do much about with them the entire time. So it just kind of felt like I was a babysitter as opposed to actually a needed role there. But at this camp right now, it's like, okay, well, you're teaching kids some skills, you're helping them, you're engaging with them, you're playing games with them. And I feel a lot more needed here, and I
Hmm.
felt that from day one. That's the instant I started working here.
Is this camp? I don't know if you brought it up earlier, but is this like an overnight camp or is
Yeah,
it
it's a sleepaway camp,
okay?
which brings along with it its own issues, but mostly fine.
Yeah.
The first camp was a day camp, and
Mm.
that was interesting. The big benefit of that is that at like 4 p.m. the kids left, and I could go home and complain to my
Mm.
parents about how shitty the experience was, and then crash.
Mm. Mm. War isn't so bad. Yeah, me too. I used to be the daytime camp.
Yeah, I remember my experience at day camp. It was fun. We kind of just went there during the
The
beginning of
other
the
one.
summer. Um, I think some of the main things were, yeah, at the end of the summer we would always have a water gun fight, and then I had this one friend, and we would just like role play the Power Rangers, which which was fun. And then I had this other group, and I got introduced to Mad Libs for the first time, so that was really fun. Which, I mean, it is unfortunate because I'm not really in contact with any of the people that I went to day camp with. And I didn't really have. I had that one close friend that I would do like the Power Ranger thing with, but I haven't seen her in a really long time. So
We've played Mad Libs before.
yeah, Mad Libs is just so much fun. Like after that first time that I experienced it, I got my own books. Yeah, I haven't done it in a while, but I used to bring it on every vacation and play with my family and stuff. And we would have our own like private sessions of Mad Libs where it would just be me and my cousins and stuff, and we would just put whatever, like we would just fill in everything with balls or something. It was funny.
Nice. Um, yeah, the thing that I really took away from that, like the first job, is if the employer tries to intimidate you in the interview, it's probably a bad job
Yeah,
because
I would think
they,
so. That sounds like
well, because
violent.
in my interview I was talking to them and it seemed it was going fine at first, but I was at the end they were like, okay, I was like, so I don't remember how this came up, but he was like, okay, you're hot at the end. He was like, okay, you're hired. You can start on You can start on Monday. I was like, can I get a little bit of time to think about it? He's like, if you leave this office and you don't say yes, you're not hired. And I'm like, well, I don't have another summer job and everything else is full. So I guess I'm working here. But I really regret that decision. That was not a good one.
Yeah, that sounds like an asshole. Was he like a dick the whole time, or?
Oh, yeah. No, he was an asshole the entire time.
Yeah, okay. Sounds right.
Like the person that I started talking to was like one of the assistant directors was really nice, but the guy who was, paying my bills, fucking sucked. And I'm happy I'm not there anymore. Like, end of the day, I'm just happy that I don't have to work there anymore. And I feel like, and this is just probably about me when having gone to this sleepaway camp for so long, I feel like summer camps shouldn't just be a place to drop off your kids for the day and then come pick them up later. Kids should
Unfortunately,
get.
that is what it always is, though.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like
Most
kids
of the
should
time.
actually get something and learn at least something. It can be a factor, it can actually be like some good skills for them later, but
Mhm.
they should be able to learn something from the experience. And man, that camp did not give me an opportunity to do anything with these kids.
What are you teaching them at this camp?
So I teach 3 activities, one of which is going to sound normal, and 2 of which is going to sound crazy if you know the age group of kids I'm working with. But I promise it's safe.
Okay.
I teach canoeing, which is the normal one.
Hmm.
I teach archery, and I teach
Oh,
riflery.
kind of cool.
So I give kids 22 caliber rifles, and I say, okay, you
Hmm.
point it down there at the target, and you fire. And
What's
we are
the
very
age group I'm allowed to ask?
7 through 11-year-olds in my unit.
Have there been
Okay.
any incidents while you've been there
Hmm.
involving 8-year-olds with rifles?
Not while I've been there, not that I've been told that there. We take safety very strictly and seriously because obviously,
Yeah, I know this.
um, like if a kid even turns his gun like anywhere other than down the range, we sit him out for like the rest of the time that he's up there for the day. And if he does it when he comes back up again, banned, like instant ban. Like it's something we don't have to do often because most of the time people are good because we spend like 45 minutes drilling into the kids' heads like this is dangerous, be safe, before they're even allowed to pick up the guns. But yeah, it's a fun time. The only incident that I can really think of that happened is a kid just accidentally fired like down at the ground and it hit like a root near in front of him and exploded dirt all over his face, which was a bit scary, but nothing actually happened
Hmm.
other than that. But I was like, okay, kid, you're sitting out because you need to understand trigger discipline.
I don't know what we're talking about now. We're going to talk about something else soon. But he's going to say, oh my god, in a little bit. And then I have to talk some more. And then I have to talk a little bit more. Guys, this is just
Oh my god.
miserable. I'm never going to have this happen again. I just really wanted to save this episode because I thought we were talking about some really interesting stuff. At least I think so. Anyway, I think this is enough time for me to be yapping for, so I can get to the next section.
Dude, I remember when I was
No, go ahead.
remember when I was a kid, there was one day when there was a lightning bolt that struck a tree down the street from me. And Cameron, you know my street. It's not a very long street. It struck a tree down the road from me. That was loud.
So lightning actually once struck a tree that was in my backyard. So, and you know that like deck thing, the orange thing that I have in my backyard. So, if you just pick that up, underneath that is or at least was this giant stump that basically takes up the whole thing, the whole size of the deck. And that used to be a tree that was
Yeah.
just in my
Hmm.
backyard. I don't even know if I was alive, but it got struck by lightning once, and
Jeez.
my dad just kind of described it to me. He was up in the middle of the night, and it's just like this blinding flash of light just randomly
Wow.
hit, and there were pieces of wood and bark just flying out of the tree, which is why we had to cut it down. So that's why it's not there anymore. But I heard that there was just this huge piece of bark um, in like my neighbor's driveway or the street in front of his house or something. But
Oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah, I was told that that tree was more than 100 feet tall, which is crazy. And then there was this other time that lightning struck the house that I was in, and that was when I was on vacation. It was my grandparents' house, and I just heard this like loud crackling from the roof or something, and the fire alarm started going off. There was no fire,
Gotcha.
thankfully.
Yeah, when that lightning struck a tree down the street from me, it was like that was at like midnight to 1 a.m. before school day, and I was in elementary school at that point, so that was before I completely fucked up my sleep schedule, and so I was asleep when that hit, and that woke me up. um, ran out of my room crying to my parents, like, what? Like, thinking the world was coming to an end or something. Yeah, I was like, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. That was crazy. And I woke up the next day to go to school, and I walked down the street, and there was just this tree stump split in half. I was like, huh, found it.
I don't even know if you felt it, but the earthquake that was in our area, where were you when that happened? What was your experience with that?
Oh, when the earthquake hit a while ago in the Northeast? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was in the cafeteria of my current college.
So I was in a class, and I didn't feel it as much as I heard it. Like I just heard this rumbling, this deep rumbling, um, just kind of, I guess, next to me. I thought someone was pushing something on the floor above, maybe, or in the hallway next to me. I didn't really question it. No one in my class questioned it until until I guess someone got a message, or I got a message from my brother saying, "Yo, there was like
Yeah,
an
so
earthquake or something. Did you feel that?" And the class that I was doing it for, it was like a recording class, and we were just about to set up to record a song for it. And I was like, we should have recorded while the earthquake was going. It could have added a really cool bass effect.
yeah, so where I was in my dorm, like I was just chilling on my bed. Um, and it was also one of those things where like I didn't really feel it more as I heard it. Um, and I also thought if something was going on upstairs. I just heard like a deep, loud rumble. And I was like, dude, what the hell are they doing up there? What are they dragging? I was like, what the hell are they dragging up there? Um, and then, like I was just went back to scrolling on my phone, and like after a few minutes I saw like a bunch of people start posting about how there was an earthquake. I'm like, was that what I just heard? I was like, I think that was what I just heard. Cool. Um, but yeah, I was far enough away from the epicenter where it didn't really have shaking or anything. Just
Yeah, like I said, I didn't really feel anything. It's more I just kind of heard it. But when I got home, my dad told me about it. There was stuff shaking in the house. There was The
Huh.
water sploshing in the tank, splashing.
Hey,
Yeah.
sploshing. That works.
Yeah, so the water was splashing, and yeah, I guess there was just genuine shaking back at my house, but where I was at school, I didn't feel anything. And I love how we just received an actual notice on our phones like 2 hours after the
Yeah.
earthquake actually happened. Like, yeah,
Yep.
thanks for letting us
I
know.
wish I knew that at the
There was
time.
an earthquake, you know?
Wish I knew that at the time. But oh well.
So, going back to what you were talking about with camp and everything, I noticed in our group chat, you sent a list of some just random dumb quotes that you had from some of your
Yeah.
campers so far. And I was wondering if maybe I could go through that list and you could explain the context of some of the things that these people are saying. Or are there any ones that are maybe too private? I guess depending on what they're saying, that maybe you don't want us to share on stream.
Depends. So I I keep a quote list of the dumb things that I hear campers say over the summer because they say some dumb stuff. Um, I can give some context on some of the quotes if you want, but I can't give context on all of them during the live stream.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so the first one is beat them at what? Chess, checkers, baseball bat? What's the
Um,
context for that?
do I even remember the context of that? Um, so I think my boss, like we were just chatting, and my boss was talking to one of my coworkers, and they were he was saying like my coworker was saying, "Oh, I really want to beat some campers at some games." Or like beat some camp. I think he just said like beat some campers without adding anything on, and then my boss just turned around and was like, beat them at what? Chess, checkers, baseball bat? Yeah, it's basically saying beat them with a baseball bat. I wrote it down like an hour or two after he actually said that, just because I didn't have time to write it when he said it, so I don't know if I got the exact like verbatim quote, but it was something along those lines.
All right, so the next one is you're not a bear because you sleep all day, Brenda.
So we were talking about like astrology and people making like identifying with like animal identities, like not furries. It's like different way, like thinking, oh, instead of this is my persona, thinking I am a bear, kind of stuff. Um, and so someone was saying, oh yeah, people just they tend to latch on to certain aspects of their personality and say, oh, I'm this animal because I have this personality trait. And then my coworker Gray was just like, you're not a bear because yeah, basically. And he was like, you're not a bear because you sleep all day, Brenda.
All right, so this next one, would you mind explaining why these kids said there's someone coming in my mouth?
I don't know the context of this. I just heard kids say this. I heard these two kids say this as they were walking past me. I heard nothing of the conversation before it happened, heard nothing of the conversation after it happened. I just heard them say it, and then they were gone. And I was like, huh, that was interesting.
Yeah, that was a little crazy coming from some kids. But
Yeah.
let's go on to the next one. Three little children and a man? Yes.
Um, so there was we get one day off a week, and a lot of times counselors go to a river and just go hang out and chill and float in the river for a while. And so one of my coworkers bought an inflatable raft, and he took the raft out, but they still had the box. And one of my other coworkers came up and saw the box, and they're like, "Yo, I got this for a day off." And he just looked on the box, and on like the design on the box, there were like 3 kids and a guy, because it was supposed to be like a family float thing. And he just looked at it, and I was like, 3 kids and a guy? Yes! 3 kids and a man? Yes! Exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna jump over to the next one. Aren't you too old to have parents? What's the context behind that?
Okay. So this is one of our youngest kids in the unit, right? I was talking with him one night, because he was getting really homesick, and I was just talking to him to make sure he was okay. And I was like, it's okay to miss your home. It's okay to miss your parents. Like, oh, I'm pretty sure every camper here has missed their parents. I mean, heck, most of the staff here, most of the counselors also miss their parents. And he just turns to me with the most wide-eyed, like, "Wait, what did you say?" expression I've ever seen in my life, and just said, "Wait, aren't you too old to have parents?" Like, what are you talking about? I spent like the next I spent like the next 15 minutes trying and failing to explain to him the concept of a grandparent. Because he just did not understand how his grandparents were actually related to him. Like, he understood that they were. But he just was like, "Oh yeah, they're these old people we hang out with sometimes." I was like, "No, they're your dad's dad and mom." Just 15 minutes of trying and failing to explain the concept of a grandparent to this child.
Yeah, that reminds me of when I was in 5th grade. We would have like we'd be buddied up with kindergartners from a kindergarten class in the same school. Like, yeah, we were the 5th grade buddies, and we had this question sheet, and I guess it asked we were supposed to ask the kid how old their parents were or something. And the kid that I was paired up with, I think he said that his dad was like 15 or something like that, or his mom was 10 and his dad was 15 or
Damn.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works.
Well, anyway, speaking about parents, this next one is, did you marry your mom? I married my mom.
So, same kid. Um, Same kid. I He just kind of came up and said that to me one day. I don't know I don't know why. He just like he just ran up to me and was like, "Hey, Uncle Aiden, do you?" Because at camp we call like all the counselors like have the honorific of uncle.
Oh, bro, reached unk status.
Yeah. So it was like, "Hey, Uncle Aiden, are you do you have a girlfriend?" And I was like, "I mean, no," and I was like ready to shut it down if he went any further than that. Because I was like, "No, I don't want to talk about my relationship status with a 7-year-old." And so I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, well, why don't you? Oh, did you not marry your mom? I married my mom." And I was like, "What are you talking about, child?"
Yeah, I'm guessing it's kind of like the kid lives with his mom and they love each other, kind of like how you ask your parents
I
to
mean,
be your
yeah, but
Valentine when
that's
you're
different
little.
than marrying. This kid just.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, I'm just thinking of how to explain the logic. Anyway, next quote. Why is that store called Penis Sporting Goods?
So, one of the other counselors was wearing a shirt that just had a bunch of ads on the back, like a bunch of sponsorships on the back. And one of the ads was from Dick's Sporting Goods. And this kid, different kid, but also one of the youngest in the unit, just pointed to the shirt and was like, "Aiden, why is that store called Penis Sporting Goods?" And I was like, "That's not what it means, dude. That's not what it is."
Yeah, I mean, I know Dick is a name, but it's just kind of like an interesting thing to
Uh,
name your store. The next one is I want some big, juicy ones.
so this is one of the ones where, in context, it actually is not that bad. It's pretty normal quote, but just um, it sounded funny, so I wrote it down out of context. Uh, we were picking blueberries, and he wanted some big, juicy blueberries. It's really not that bad when you have the context, but it's funny out of context, which is why I
I'm
wrote it
assuming
down.
they're the low bush blueberries,
Yeah, low bush blueberries.
because they're the ones that are in Maine, and then the ones that are in New Jersey are
We
high
have both up here,
bush.
I think, but many more low bush.
Yeah, I thought so. Alright, the next question is according to my mood ring, I'm horny right now.
Yeah, no, I just walked in on a conversation between some of my other coworkers, and one of them just said that, and I was like, okay, cool, good to know.
Do you know any of the context of what happened or why that person said that?
No, not really. I He just
Yeah, I
said that,
wonder
and I'm like,
how
okay,
like
cool.
I don't know
I've
how exactly does a mood ring work?
like you don't know what a mood ring is as a concept? Okay, so it's kind of a gag thing. No, not a gag thing. It's kind of like it was a fad for a while, I think, where you get a ring and it just changes. It's supposed to change color depending on your mood. Um, doesn't really work as far as I'm aware, but it's it's just one of those things. And apparently, his said he was
Yeah, I'm
horny.
looking at images right now of what the different colors mood rings could be, and I'm guessing that would either be like romance or
Something
passion.
like that. I don't know.
Yeah, there isn't really one for horny, which makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know what he was on about. Um, but yeah, he said that, and it was funny, so I wrote it down. I got some more quotes that I don't think I shared in that screenshot. I got some more since. Uh, kid said, "Wow, you're amazing with your hands." Um, said that to me after I was playing piano, which again, in context, not that bad. The way he said it, though. uh, and then one of the kid they were showing the movie Cars to one of the kids, and one of them had this comment to make about Lightning McQueen. He's got that yacht riz. Of course. Um, and then
Yeah.
okay. The last three I have are all from today. Um, the same young kid who was like I was talking about earlier, who was surprised, who I had to explain the concept of grandparents to. Um, two of the ones I got from today are both from him, and he said he's the disgustingest because he poops on his mom, talking about another camper. I'm like, what are you talking about, kid? What are you talking about? Like he's one of the kids who just kind of says shit, and it's like, okay, cool, thanks, buddy. Um, and then he later, in that pretty much that same conversation, like, I was just trying to move on to a different topic because it was getting like a little bit out of hand. So I was trying to move on to a different topic, and I was like, okay, we're done. He was just like, no, you're done, Mr. Bread. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? Apparently, I'm Mr. Bread. According, yeah, yeah, same kid. And I was just like, I, where did you get that from? I have not held, like, I am not one of the people that eats a lot of bread at camp. Like, and I wasn't holding any, and I was like, what are you talking about? Where did this come from? Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
I got one more. Different kid that he just came up to me, and because most of the kids have left, and so we can't have one kid sleeping in a tent just for coverage and security and legal reasons also. Um, so we needed to move him to a different tent because all of his other tent mates were first half, and he came up to me very end of the at the very end of the day. He just ran up to me and was like, "Hey, Aiden, I'm sleeping with you tonight," meaning that he was sleeping in my tent, but didn't phrase it like that. And I was like, yeah. I quickly corrected him on what he actually meant, but I was like, dude, no, stop. Um, dude, go to bed. um, yeah. So we can move on from this now. You were saying about Erica's brother.
Yes, okay, so you know how Erica's brother just says like the weirdest shit sometimes. So we were all in New Jersey. Like it was me and some friends at home, Erica's sister, her sister's boyfriend, and like my siblings and whatnot. Um, and Steven was there obviously, and we were all eating at a Stewart's restaurant. And so,
Yeah.
what was it? Okay, yeah. So we got our food, and then I guess like someone else, he had fries that he didn't want, and someone else took one of his fries. And you know what this guy says? He's After someone else grabbed his fries, he said, "You're acting like Mexican moms at a restaurant."
What the fuck?
Wait, run me that story by one more time so I can fully understand.
Okay, so we were eating at the Stewart's restaurant. We're all sitting down outside. Someone else, he didn't want his fries, so someone else had one of his fries, and he said that they were acting like Mexican moms at a restaurant.
Bro, what
What
the
does that even
fuck?
mean, bro? That's, what? Yeah, what does that
Yeah,
mean?
so as soon as he said that, we were like, "What are you talking about? What does that mean?" And my friend, he asked him, "Explain what that means in Fortnite terms."
Yeah.
Well, so first we asked him what it meant like in English, and he said, "Oh, you know how like Mexican moms just kind of take everything from the table and then they eat all the leftovers or
He
something like
watches
that." I
he used to
genuinely
watch Andrew Tate, so I'm guessing somewhere like that.
Oh, dude. Hold on. Are you still friends with the guy?
Oh, well, we're friends with his sister. He just kind of tags along sometimes.
Well, like we're
Hmm.
friends with his sister, and my siblings are friends with his other sister, so
He
the
gets
whole family
invited
kind
by
of just gets
proxy.
invited down.
Yeah.
There's this one time we asked him to explain how rolled ice cream was made, and he just went into like this crazy weird explanation. I don't even know what he was saying, but yeah,
How old is he?
I really don't know. All I know
Okay.
is that he acts a lot younger than whatever his actual age is.
Late middle school, early high school, I think.
All right.
That's honestly crazy to think of him as being in high school now, though.
Oh my god.
Hmm. So not mature yet. So not mature yet, huh?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Okay.
Actually, I remember this one time we were at our friend Erica's house, and Steven was there. He said something, I forget exactly what it was, but I believe he was in elementary school at the time. So it was like, oh yeah, no, this kid's already lost his innocence before any of us did. But anyway, I wanted to take some inspiration from different podcasts that I listen to. Each time they have a different guest on, they ask about what that person's
Yeah.
hot takes are relating to food. What are some of your hot food takes?
Mhm.
Pineapple on pizza is goated. Um,
I've got opinions on that.
Other than that, the biggest thing that I get weird looks about with food is that I just don't like carbonated drinks. The texture feels weird on my tongue. That
I
means that,
am with you on that 100%.
um, which I found a lot of other people recently, like in the past few years, that have felt the same, and that makes me feel a lot more validated in that. But
Yeah.
for a while, it just felt really weird because like every party I went to was always just like Coca-Cola or water, and it's like, well, what if I want fruit juice?
Yeah.
Uh,
Where's the apple juice at?
yeah, where's the apple juice? Where's the lemonade? Give me something.
Yeah, come on, man. I actually don't like lemonade.
Okay, you're wrong. Um,
Okay. Okay.
but
I like certain flavors of lemonade is fine. I just don't like lemonade
well, you're wrong.
because it's too like I don't know what it is. I've never had a good lemonade. Maybe I just don't try it enough, maybe. But I've never liked a lemonade.
I mean, I also just really like sour foods, so like
Yeah, I don't like sour stuff. Maybe that's why.
maybe. Um, yeah, I love sour foods, so
Mm. Okay.
lemonade is goated for me.
Nice.
And what would you say are some of the things that you're picky about that maybe a bunch of other people would disagree with?
Um, I'm not really that much of a picky eater, other than like carbonation. The biggest thing that I'll say is that, like, in terms of what I'm picky about, is I just have a low spice tolerance. So sometimes I'm like, do I really want to try the spicy food? Because
I have
usually
a
I
I
love,
have a
because usually I love the flavor, but then my
yeah.
mouth starts burning and I just am not having fun.
I have a very, very, very high spice tolerance and I love spicy food.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too. I definitely am a fan of spicy food. I don't, I wouldn't say that my
yeah, man.
spice tolerance is extremely high, but I kind of just have
Yeah.
spicy food anyway. Um, yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know. I just enjoy it.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
during my last semester at college, I brought like like a ton of different hot sauces like every day to school and I put it on everything I ate. I love hot sauce. Well, it wasn't hot sauce, there's something else, but it's still really good.
Yeah, like you put most stuff in front of me, I'll eat it. Sometimes I might need a little bit of convincing. Like
Yeah.
I don't love some, like there are some things that I don't love, but I'll eat it if I have to.
Hmm.
Um, but there's very few things that I actually hate in terms of food. Like, I really think
What do you hate?
the only thing that I really comes to mind is I just hate carbonated stuff. And same thing with like the fizzy candies. Those are
Fizzy
like the only.
candies? What's
Yeah, no, like the pop rock stuff. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, triggers the same kind of feeling. Triggers the same kind of feeling that soda does on my tongue. That really makes me uncomfortable.
One thing I really don't like is, and everyone hates me for it, is ketchup. I just can't do it.
I mean,
I don't
I
know
see
why.
where you're coming from on that. I get it. It is weird.
For me, it's like, I mean, yeah, obviously I'm not just gonna have ketchup on its own, but
in my opinion, it just really adds to something like a burger or a hot dog or something.
Yeah,
Fair.
me too.
I do remember when I was a kid, though, I wouldn't really eat a lot of meat, and the only way I could eat the meat on its own is if it was with ketchup. I don't know why, but I would have like chicken with ketchup.
Yeah, my meat
Fair.
of preference is always chicken. I love chicken.
Me too, dude. I love chicken. It's the best food, like out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, chicken's the best food, like ever. Oh my
I
god.
mean, yeah, chicken as a meat, like it's definitely one of my favorites. But anyway, I have a couple of questions for you. Speaking of like your favorite food and I guess also ketchup, what would be your favorite red food?
My favorite bread food?
No, not bread. Red.
Oh.
Like red 40. It could also be naturally red. Just what's your favorite
I
food that's red?
want to say apples. I know they can be green or yellow, but like I love apples, dude.
What about like
Yo, Cameron.
candy apples? What's your opinion on those?
Like the stuff where you put the candy coating on the outside. Hard to eat, but really good.
Would you say you prefer candy apples over regular apples?
Flavor wise, yes. But because it's just so hard to eat, I prefer normal apples in most scenarios.
Yo, Cameron. Um, so I just turned on the audio in your stream. No one can hear you.
What? Wait, they've been
I don't
talking.
think I don't think anyone's been able to hear you this whole time. So hold on, Ninja.
Oh
Okay,
my
Cameron,
god.
Cameron, just you start talking for like 10 seconds, and I'm gonna listen on this stream. Good.
Hello. Hello. Talking. I'm talking.
Have we been going for 2 hours and nobody's been able to hear Cameron?
Yes.
Yeah. So apparently no one has heard you for the last over an hour, 2 hours.
Wow. That's
So I just looked at because I got this idea to look because
hello.
I looked at my texts from Ashley texted me a little bit ago. I just saw it at like 10:20 and was like, "Does Cameron's mic not work?" I just saw it.
Oh my
So
god.
no one has heard you. It's just been me and me and Ninja. So I guess for like times where I've been silent, it's just been Ninja
Oh,
talking
that's been
like on his
fun.
own.
Oh
So
Fun
no.
information to know.
the odds fucked really. I mean, there's no reason to have it.
Okay, well basically what you missed was I said a bunch of like weird quotes that Aiden's camp people said, like beat them at what? Chess, checkers, baseball bat. You're not a bear because you sleep all day, Brenda. There's someone coming in my mouth. My neighbor was a stoner. 3 little children and a man, yes. Wait, how big is your hole? Aren't you too old to have parents? Why is that store called Penis Sporting Goods? I want some big juicy ones. Did you marry your mom? I married my mom. According to my mood ring, I'm horny right now. I was just asking him what his favorite red food is. And I don't know what else.
Dude, that's insane that we've been going for 2 hours and your mic has been muted.
How could I have let that happen?
I don't know. Oh no,
Man,
dude.
Well,
that is so unfortunate.
Cue the Seinfeld music.
I mean the episode's been mostly about you, so it's kind of like you
Yeah.
talking. Oh my god, so
But also I've just been referencing things and like, oh yeah, I'm expecting the viewers to know what I'm talking about because Cameron just introduced a question.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can
Uh-huh.
like add voiceover. I think I owe it to you guys.
Yeah,
So let me
this
just
is gonna be a
yap for a
heavily edited
second.
VOD.
Let me just talk for a second because I haven't been able to talk apparently. Okay, so yes, I will use the intro that you made in a video that I will make at some point. I'm not sure when, but I would definitely use it, and I appreciate you making that intro for you. I am definitely interested. If you want to come on the podcast sometime, that would be great. Ash didn't hear my question about asking if she wanted to come on the podcast, but I feel like that's something you would ask her anyway. I didn't acknowledge Red Noob. I didn't acknowledge any of the haters. I didn't acknowledge C Boogatron.
Well, you did, but they didn't hear you.
They didn't
Yeah.
hear me. They didn't hear me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
This
probably
is
why
really
they were saying that was
unfortunate.
a terrible podcast because they couldn't fucking hear you.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my god. God damn it, dude.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, this is really bad. So this sucks.
Well, it was the
Uh,
first run, so
You know, you really could just do another one another day.
exactly. And like
With me again.
Yeah, we could, honestly.
honestly, I was
The
thinking
rerun.
like if you're available because we want to do future episodes with different guests, if you want to like co-host with us,
Yeah, you can.
you can.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to while I'm at camp because
That's fair.
I don't know. I honestly I'm probably gonna have to pop off in like a few minutes anyways.
Okay.
Just because I need to wake
It's
up.
getting a little late, so.
I need to wake up
That's
early
fair.
tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm back home, yeah, I'll definitely co-host. I'm okay with that.
Cool. Francisco is saying we should get a 909 episode. I agree.
That'll be fun.
Yes.
Okay, so let's finish up on. Okay, so I wanted to ask. I asked you about your favorite red food. Could you choose what's your favorite like orange food? Like whatever food.
What the
that
fuck
you
is
have
there that's orange?
orange.
Oranges.
Dude, I don't know. There's not much orange food that I can think of other than like oranges and other citrus things. Fucking mandarin oranges, I guess. There's not much out there.
Okay. Okay. What about like your favorite yellow food?
Favorite yellow food. I do like lemon flavored stuff, so there's a lot out there. Because yellow is almost always lemon flavored.
Yeah.
I really like lemon heads. Then
Scream a lot. You can definitely be a guest. Peaches are orange, aren't they? I agree. Yeah, peaches are orange, kind of.
yeah. I still prefer mandarin oranges over peaches, though.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like going back to like the weird food thing question is like the biggest thing that bothers me about food more often than not is texture.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the carbonated drinks, just the texture on my tongue just bothers me a lot. And then also like with peaches, the like the little hairs on the top just bother me. If I skin the peach and then eat it, I love peaches, but I can't just eat a peach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like I guess peaches are alright. I'll have peach flavored things, I guess. But like the idea of eating the skin just kind of skews me out.
Yeah.
So back to yellow foods.
So I like lemon heads. Don't really love lemons like on their own because that's like stupidly strong, acidic,
Mhm.
sour stuff. Need
Yeah.
some sugar to actually balance it out.
Yeah.
Um, what else is there that's yellow foods? I love
Banana.
lemonade. Lemonade is amazing.
Mhm.
I still feel like I prefer lemon stuff over bananas.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Ooh, actually, if we want to like broaden it out to like pale yellows, throw in pasta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I love me some good pasta dishes.
Okay.
And hell, also, oh no, got my answer. Got my answer. Cheddar
Yeah.
cheese.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Fucking love cheddar.
Yeah,
You
cheddar
guys fuck
is
with
better.
pepper jack
Sharp
cheese?
sharp cheddar is amazing.
I'm not gonna lie, pepper jack cheese is my favorite cheese.
Yes.
I
Yes.
I prefer
I
it
mean,
over cheddar.
fair,
So good,
dude.
dude. I love pepper
Dude,
jack
I
cheese.
get you put a plate of sharp cheddar in front of me, I'm in fucking heaven. I love that stuff.
Mm.
Um, I mean, I'm happy with most cheeses, to be perfectly honest. I like cheese.
Hmm. All right. All right. What's your favorite green food?
Favorite green food? What?
Mm.
Have you
What
ever
do I?
tried pistachio ice cream?
Dude,
No, because I'm not a huge fan of
dude,
pistachios in the first place. So I'm like, if I can spend my
I
money
want to
on,
like try it at some point because it's like such a weird concept to me.
it's gotta be so bad though, It's just gotta be bad. There's no way it's good.
for me, I'm not a huge fan of pistachios in the first place. I'm like, why would I spend my money on a flavor of ice cream that I don't think I'd like in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Green foods. We're talking about a lot of vegetables here. I like most of them. Uh, we're also getting late at the night. My brain is not working as well right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's your favorite green food, Cameron?
My favorite green food.
Yeah. What's your
Um.
favorite?
Hmm.
Oh wait, no. I just looked at the chat. Screamalot just got it for me. It's not always green, but when it is, it counts. Mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, like a lot of mint things are green. I guess I kind of
I
like
love
mint.
mint. I love mint. Like if I had to pick like my two favorite candy flavors, like candy like genres, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Hmm.
Um, it'd be like sour candies and mint candies. Not in the same batch though. Those do not
Yeah.
mix.
Hmm.
Um, but I love them both individually.
Okay. Um. So what's your favorite blue food?
Fucking blueberries, I guess. There's not much out there.
Oh, yeah, true. Do you like blueberry pancakes?
Dude, blueberry pancakes are peak.
Those are really good. Like I don't know
My
if I
dad.
like chocolate chip or blueberry better. I think
No, I definitely like blueberry better because the chocolate chips and the pancakes dry out your mouth, and the blueberries make it so you don't have to add as much syrup, so you can actually get the flavor of the pancake in there as well.
mhm.
I feel like whenever I have chocolate chip pancakes, I end up drowning in so much syrup just so that my mouth doesn't dry completely out. That I'm I'm eating the pancake becomes a syrup delivery service as opposed to the actual pancake.
Yeah. Mhm. Whereas if you add like something like blueberries, it adds to the, it makes the pancake
Yeah,
become a thing.
because then it's like, okay, you get the flavor of the pancake, you get the flavor of whatever's in the pancake, and you get the syrup, and they all mix together, as opposed to it just being the syrup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
dad makes banana blueberry pancakes at home, and the banana also just adds some more moisture to the pancake.
I
So
can't do banana.
I'm sorry for you because they're so good.
All right, we're gonna move. That's a very hot food take in my opinion, but maybe I'm the one with the hot food take.
Maybe.
You might be the one with the hot food take because bananas are great.
Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Anyway, what's your favorite purple food?
Is there any other purple foods than just eggplant? Oh wait, no, grapes. Grapes, definitely grapes.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably would prefer grapes over eggplant, but who knows?
No,
Or like
dude,
figs.
no,
Mm.
I'm definitely grapes over figs.
Oh, what
Don't
about
mind
like
figs.
that weird like purple stuff? I don't know if you ever had it. Ube.
Weird
Yes,
purple.
the
Ube.
weird purple stuff. Yes, I
Ube.
love it.
Have you ever had ube?
No,
No, I
don't
can't
even
say I
know.
have.
It
Okay, well,
sounds like
it's a thing.
a drug. What
Well,
is
there is
ube?
also lean. That is purple.
Oh, okay. Well, I
I
like lean,
don't
okay.
know.
I do lean.
Grimace shake.
I do like that.
Screamalot's favorite purple food is Grimace shake.
Oh boy.
Me too, Scream.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to be like grape or grape flavored stuff. Like everybody, dude, I love the fact that I like grape flavored stuff because whenever, for a lot of my childhood especially, whenever I got, whenever there's like a bag of Jolly Ranchers around or something, people would always take all the other flavors and they'd be like, no, I don't want the grape one. It tastes like medicine. I'm like, I fucking love the grape flavor. Give me all of them.
Yeah. Grape flavored medicine. Yes. Yum. My favorite. What's your favorite brown food?
Chocolate, I guess.
Chocolate?
Um,
Like just chocolate, or
Is it-
like chocolate cake, or like hot chocolate?
Brown food.
I'm gonna have to say, like darker chocolate. Like not
Okay.
like dark chocolate, not quite like baker's chocolate level, but dark chocolate.
Okay. All right. What about like a black food?
Black food,
Yeah, I'll count like if it's like really
Well-
dark gray or brown, but then also I don't think food should be gray.
burnt marshmallows.
Oh.
No.
Oh, well, some seafood like mussels. Like mussels, they're black, right? Have you ever had
Would-
squid ink pasta?
No, I haven't. But would we count sushi because the seaweed on the outside looks black?
That I would count that, yeah.
Okay, then sushi.
Okay, all right.
Because I love me some sushi.
True. What about white food?
Actually, wait, I'm gonna loop back to orange food because I've definitely changed my answer now that I just thought of seafood.
Okay.
Salmon.
Salmon.
100% salmon.
All right, all right.
Salmon is my favorite food of all time. I just blanked on the fact that it was orange for a second.
True, it is orange. All right. What's your favorite like white food?
Going through the full color wheel.
Yeah.
Marshmallows immediately jump to mind.
Bro likes eating tar for breakfast. Oreo. Oreo is a black food.
Yeah. I mean, Oreos are good. I'll eat them if they're there. But it's not a favorite of mine.
Nah, and you don't. Do you like eating tar?
No.
Like that. You remember the teeth video where he was like bowl of tar, bowl of tar, bowl of tar, another bowl of tar.
No. So
Jack.
I personally I like tar
Yeah.
as a dessert after dinner, not as an actual meal.
Yeah, it like gets stuck in your teeth though, you know.
Yeah. But you know, it's right after dinner. I'm gonna go brush my teeth anyways, so it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, anyways, white foods. Marshmallows jump to mind immediately. I think I'm gonna have to say mint chocolate chip ice cream again because it can be either white or green.
Okay. Not like vanilla ice cream?
Nah,
What about
mint chocolate chip all
pure...
the way.
What about pure garlic? Or pure onion?
Okay, definitely not on the
Yeah.
onion.
Yeah.
Definitely not on the onion, but
I mean, some people do eat garlic. Like, I've had pickled garlic before. It's not
I
bad.
love garlic. Okay, pickled ruined it for me. You ruined the vibe there.
Bro does not like pickles.
No. I don't like anything that's been pickled. It's too acidic. Or, I don't know if that's the right word, but it doesn't sit well with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Vanilla's bland. Ugh,
but
bro.
but garlic is awesome.
I love vanilla, so... Would you say you like it more than, mint chocolate chip ice cream?
That's a tough one. Uh, I'd say if I was just given an option to eat both of the two like as is, I'd choose mint chocolate chip ice cream
Mm-hmm.
because garlic I love a lot more when it's added to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just chomp down on garlic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, but you know, it is one of my favorite things to add to food.
Yeah, true. Okay,
And
so...
Cameron, I think my dad has cooked for you before. You know that should come as no surprise coming from my household.
Yeah.
My dad puts garlic in everything.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Okay, so, like, what's your favorite pink food?
Um, Good question. Uh, mm-hmm.
Cheesy garlic? Basically pizza. I like cheesy garlic bread.
Dude,
That
cheesy
slaps.
garlic bread.
Oh
Oh,
my god, stop!
I love cheesy garlic bread. Um, Pink foods. My mind immediately jumps to tuna, but like specifically like the thick cut tuna that you get on like sushi and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not the finely ground stuff that you like buy in a can. That stuff kind of sucks.
Oh, yeah, no.
Um, Not sure if that's my actual favorite though.
It's like cotton
I
candy.
like pink. I don't really love cotton candy.
What about, like, strawberry ice cream?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with strawberry ice cream, I think.
Or just, like, strawberries,
I'm
like, a lot of strawberry-flavored things are pink.
Yeah, dude, I love strawberry flavored stuff.
Mm.
Strawberry flavor is actually awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I like a lot of fruity flavors, so that's gonna be an easy win for me on a lot of things.
True. Alright. So I think the last thing I'm gonna ask is, like, what's your favorite, like, multicolored food?
Uh, for the bit, I want to say rainbow bagels, but that's not. I know that's not it. Because rainbow bagels are funny, and just the fact that they exist.
Mm-hmm.
Multicolored food. I might have to go with either a nice good burger or a pizza.
Okay.
Are we counting like full dishes here, or are we just counting like one specific like part of the dish?
Like anything that you can eat and would enjoy eating.
Uh, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with either a burger or a pizza.
Okay. All right. Um. All right. So yeah. So I think that's good, but I'm gonna say you're probably gonna mess up your signature the next time you try to do it online. But like writing with a mouse is hard, so you'll have to come back and tell me if I was correct.
Wait, what? What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah, pretty much, you know.
What? What do you mean?
um should we tell him, Jack?
Well, hold on
Mm-hmm.
a second. Okay.
Actually, I think I'll tell him after, because I definitely want to do
Okay.
this in future streams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea.
So we've been going
Hold
on
on.
for a while. Is there any
Unless
Uh,
but you couldn't hear Cameron.
yeah. What's up?
uh, what?
You were gonna say something?
No. I just think that a light bulb is gonna burn out in like a week or so.
Oh. Rip the light bulb.
Rip.
F in the chat for light bulb, guys.
Um.
All right. So,
Right.
any closing
we close-
statements before we leave? If you have any, do you have any questions for us?
Not really. Go subscribe to NinjaMagic on YouTube. I'm
True.
hopefully gonna have videos out relatively soon.
You should do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm planning on it. It's a thing that I am trying to do. So let's hope I actually do it. Woo!
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah,
All
go
right.
subscribe. Yeah.
All right.
Go
Cool.
do that.
So this has been episode 1 of the ShrimPon cast.
Might have to redo episode 1 because we could barely because you couldn't hear Cameron for most of it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so we
I have to
couldn't hear
do
you
some
for
editing because of an
everyone.
accidental doxation, as well as
Mhm.
I will try to add some like voice lines for when I'm supposed to talk, because
Have fun with that.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is gonna be a lot of work.
I'll like, I'm not gonna do all of it, but I feel like Aiden was like talking for most of it. I don't know. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll get some more cool epic guests on in the future. And I'm gonna make like an application.
And Cameron will remember to turn on his mic.
And I will turn
Cameron
on
will
my
remember
mic.
to turn on his mic.
I will have it on the whole